Hello and welcome back to Animated Banners with CSS. Before we move on with the rest of our design, we need to pull in a couple of fonts. And the fonts we're going to be using for this particular design can be found at Google Fonts. So I'm going to jump into a web browser and I'm going to go to google.com/fonts. Here we can find a number of fonts that are free to use. You can download them to your computer, you can use them on the web, and it's very easy to use. So the fonts I'm looking for are called Pathway Gothic and Bigelow Rules. So I'm going to come up here to the search field here, and I'm going to do a search for Pathway, and we can see that Pathway Gothic 1 shows up here. So we're going to need to do two things with this font. First of all, for our Photoshop comp, we're going to need to download it to our computer. Then later on, when we get into our HTML and CSS, we're going to need to link to this particular font, not on our computer, but on the Google Fonts repository. So we're going to talk about how to do that. Well, we're going to start by selecting this Pathway Gothic 1 font and clicking over here on Add to Collection. And that will add it to our collection down here at the bottom, and we can see all of the fonts in our collection in this window at the bottom. So then I'm going to do a search, again up here in the search field, for a font called Bigelow Rules, and we can see that here. So I'm going to add that to our collection as well. Now we can see both of those fonts here. Now I'm going to click over here at the bottom in our collection area. I'm going to click on the Use tab, and that will take us to a new page where it will allow us to choose the styles we want. Some fonts come with bold and italic styles in addition to the normal styles. These two don't, they just have normal styles. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and here we can see how to add the code to our website, which we'll get to later on. We can go down further to see how to integrate it into our CSS once we add it to our website. But if we go back up to the very top, we'll notice a link over here on the right with a little downward facing arrow on it. If we click on that, it will download those fonts for us. Now it gives us a little pop-up that says we don't really need to download this font to use it on our web pages. However, if we're going to create a Photoshop comp with this design in it, then we're going to need to have this font on our computer, otherwise we can't use the font in Photoshop. So we can click here on the zip file link, and that will download a zip file with all of your fonts in it. Now I've already got these fonts installed on my system, so I don't need to do that, but make sure that you click here on the zip file and then look in your download folder, unzip that file, install the fonts, and then we'll be able to move forward. So go ahead and install those fonts on your system, and then in the next video we'll move forward and start inserting some of the text that we're going to need for our banner. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.